What's going on, people? Keith Moore Jr. here, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not bodybuilding will help me as I transition over to more boxing type training. So the example I'm going to use in the video today is going to be Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Anthony Joshua. Two heavyweight boxers. If you all are not familiar, I have their picture in the thumbnail. So Anthony Joshua is built like a bodybuilder. Andy Ruiz Jr., not so much. He's on the heavier side. He's shorter than Anthony Joshua. So a lot of people going into this fight were looking at, the comparison between the two and saying that Andy Ruiz Jr. stood no chance. Excuse me. And I think the reason a lot of people were thinking this was simply based on the physiques of the two fighters. So Anthony Joshua looks like he can go compete in a bodybuilding show right now. Andy Ruiz Jr. did not, but what people have to understand is, it's a big difference between, looking good, lifting weights for hypertrophy and things like that, and being able to box. Boxing is a science. So Andy Ruiz, despite Anthony Joshua, having a better look or physique than Andy Ruiz has faster hands than Anthony Joshua, better footwork, better head movement, and from the first fight where he stopped Anthony Joshua, he has more endurance than Anthony Joshua. So I said all that to say, just because I've been lifting weights for so long doesn't mean that it's going to transition well over into boxing, because it's a different type of workout. Because now my workouts are going to have to be geared more towards endurance, strength endurance, versus just focusing strictly on hypertrophy for muscle growth. So I'm still going to focus some on hypertrophy, but I'm going to have to transition over to more endurance type of workouts. Because, a lot of the times, I remember when I first started boxing, I wasn't anywhere near the size I am now, but I was like 165, and I was solid, muscular, and everything. So I'm like, yes, this is going to be easy, and I was hitting the pads. And then all of a sudden, like, my arms were just getting exhausted from just punching constantly. I'm like, wait, this is different than being in the gym lifting. Even with shadow boxing, just throwing simple 1-2s and just throwing, multiple jabs and things like that, my arms got very fatigued. So it's a different type of training. So I don't want people to think, just because, you're muscular, you're built, you do bodybuilding, that it's going to transition over into boxing, automatically. And there are bodybuilders out there who have tried to box, some successful, some not so much. The ones that are successful at it did the proper training and they actually took boxing serious. But they didn't try to just go from lifting weights right into boxing and were automatically, amazing at it. Some people actually had a boxing background, like Mike Rashid, for example. He did amateur boxing. So he already had that boxing background. He knew the fundamentals and he knew how to train for boxing. So don't think, just because, somebody's super muscular that they're going to be a good boxer. So do I think, my training will be difficult when I transition over to boxing training initially? Yes, because even though I've done it before, it's been years and you know, all I've been doing is, you know, lifting weights. You know, I do cardio, more like stationary type cardio where I'm just on the treadmill or the Stairmaster. You know, I haven't jumped rope in a long time, haven't just ran outside in a long time. So it's different styles of training, but the good thing about it is this will be a new challenge for me. Even if I don't compete, even if I don't do an amateur match, I do still look forward to changing up my training and taking my body to another level and just being in the best shape ever, you know, at 30 years old, even though 30 is not old. But I can tell, you know, I don't feel the same as I did when I was, you know, like 21 or 22. I never thought I would be one of those people saying that. But one more thing I'll add to the end of this. So Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua are supposed to be fighting again in a rematch. Now, with everything I just said, you know, Anthony Joshua still is going to be, you know, superior in the physique category as far as appearance. But things like hand speed, that's not something that Anthony Joshua is going to be able to beat Andy Ruiz Jr. at. He's just not, because with Anthony Joshua having the physique of a bodybuilder, his punches are not going to be as fast as Andy Ruiz Jr. It's no chance, because that's not something that you can just teach just like that. And then with Anthony Joshua having so much muscle mass, that can actually hinder him some, and that could be part of the reason why his hand speed, you know, I know people say he has fast hands, but watch him against Andy Ruiz Jr. Although Andy Ruiz Jr. has maybe the fastest hands at heavyweight, if not the fastest, he's up there. So, you know, but looking at their hand speeds, it's night and day. It's not even close. So, and I think a big reason of that would be, you know, the muscularity of Anthony Joshua, and also endurance. You know, you can have an amazing physique and not have any endurance. So, last example I'll give here. I remember when I first started boxing, you know, I had a 6-pack, very ripped abs and everything. And then one of my buddies, he was just like, let me hit you on your stomach just to see how hard your core is. So I'm like, oh, this will be nothing. And he was like, I'm not even gonna hit you hard. I'm just gonna stand here and just punch you like that. So he did that, and it legit knocked the wind out of me. So that's when I learned that having good looking abs does not mean you have a strong core by any means. So the same thing with Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz Jr. You know, Anthony Joshua can have, you know, 6-pack, 8-pack, whatever. If that core is not tight, it's lights out, game over. And you saw Andy Ruiz constantly working the body. In that first fight, you know, he would work the body to lead to more punches up top, because Anthony Joshua does not have a strong core, and a lot of Anthony Joshua fans might not like that, but that's just what it is. So I may as well end the video with a fight prediction for the rematch if they do fight, which they're supposed to later this year. I got Andy Ruiz Jr. winning again, and I have him winning by a knockout, just because I think boxing is a science, and being having like a bodybuilding type of background does not always transition over well to boxing. Granted, Anthony Joshua has had a lot of success as a heavyweight boxer, but I think once he continues to step up in competition with somebody like a a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, people who have pretty much mastered the science of boxing. Well, I won't say Deontay Wilder mastered the science of boxing, because he just has to hit you, and eventually once he connects, you wants to go to sleep. But I would say somebody like Tyson Fury has mastered the science of boxing with his head movement, you know, fast hands and things like that. You know, Anthony Joshua is just, you know, you got to make some changes, because, you know, having the best physique or being the strongest heavyweight, you know, strong, when I say strongest, I don't mean just like pure like body weight strength. I mean like in the gym lifting weights, you know, doing like a bench press, squat, things like that. Just because you're the strongest at that type of stuff does not translate over to boxing. But I'm kind of rambling now, so I'm going to end the video. Please like it, subscribe to my channel. Catch you on the next one. Peace.